This is so exciting. We've actually done it here. So.
Oh, so this is going out live.
Hello and welcome everyone. My name's Sophie Chester-Glynn and I am Director at Co-Produce Care, as many of you know, and I'm delighted today to be out of the office, actually physically at a conference, and this is one of my favourite conferences. So this is the Health Plus Care Conference. I think they had about 7,000 registrations, so people from all over the country coming to London in the massive XL building that is in London, and lots of stands, lots of talks, lots of discussions, panels over a 2-day period. So today is the first day and I've arrived. I've gone down to the shop floor, as it were, and I'm dragging people up here. We've got a little room for an hour or so at a time, and I'm just going to interview people because so many people would love to come to a debate like this, but you're on shift, you can't get here. So that's what we try to do. As you know, Co-Produce Care, we try and bring the arguments, the discussions to you. So that's why we're here. So I'm not going to spend too much time with the introductions because you all know who we are. And I'm just going to introduce someone from the Outstanding Society. So come on through. Yes, we'll go back a little bit so we can get you fully in.
A bit taller.
You are. There we are. Excellent. So hopefully everyone can still hear us. So I've got Sanjay Drona, if I said that right.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's close enough.
That's come on.
Sanjay Drona.
Drona. Okay, there we go. So Sanjay is going to tell us a bit about him and then a bit about the Outstanding Society. But I don't know much about you apart from that you're also a provider. So tell me a little bit about that, and then I'll ask you some questions about the Outstanding Society.
So, as I said, my name's Sanjay. I'm from the Close Care Home in Burcott, Oxfordshire. We were a fully inadequate service 7 years ago. 2 warning notices, 2 embargoes. I came on board in 2015, and now we've got the full fleet of outstanding. So we're one of the very few homes in the country that have 5 outstandings. We also were Care Home of the Year last year, Best Residential Care Provider, Best Food, Nutrition and Dining Experience, and a few other awards.
OMG, I could do a whole live stream on you and what you guys have done in your organization. I mean, is it too much to ask you to kind of sum up what you think has been one of the or 2 of the main catalysts for that? That's an incredible journey.
Yeah, so several things. Bringing our own experiences to the workplace, massive. Really telling people that you're allowed to kind of do it your way. So it's about knowing the rule book and also thinking outside of the box at the same time. So knowing what's legally required, but knowing that that's a baseline. So the minute that we started to think creatively and outside of the box, and bringing everyone's experiences, because when you hire someone, you're not just hiring a person, you're hiring everything that they've done and know and their history and heritage. So as soon as you bring that to it, we were able to do all these crazy things. So we like to consider ourselves very innovative, very different, and a lot of that is tech-based. Yes, absolutely. However, the key innovations that we have are tech-free, which essentially means they're free. So we do crazy things like our takeaway night. And it sounds really silly, but basically we realized that residents live a whole life of ordering takeaways, especially nowadays. People are used to ordering that. But when you come into a care home, it's always the same food, essentially, because it's from the trolley, it's in the dining room. Where are those real life experiences? So rather than mollifying and placating people down, we're like, right, okay, fine. So we've got a kitchen team. and our kitchen team are famous for their work with the ITSE requirements and texture modification. So why don't we give people a takeaway experience? So we print out menus, take them under the door, they book what they want, they order it. We then come and deliver it in the authentic takeaway packaging. And because it's all made in-house, you know, the quality's there, the experience is there. And for people that live with a texture modified diet, we're able to cater to them as well. So they get the genuine experience. So me and you can be sat across the table. I may live with dysphasia, but actually I can have the same dinner as you.
That's so innovative. When you first said, "Oh, we get takeaways," I was like, "Well, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
That is not revolutionary." But then when you explain it in that way, I totally get it.
And we've got 90 residents, so we're not talking about a very small home. This is it's a complex piece of land here. So to be able to deliver that to 90 residents at the expected time with the thing, and most importantly, the cost isn't there because people are choosing what they want for dinner. Our food wastage is so low on that night that we can then do 5 different options.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So people genuinely get everything. So if, let's say, if it's a Chinese curry night, we're doing prawn crackers, we're doing the sweet and sour sauces, the dipping, everything, the little spring rolls, the works come with it. So it's not a basic version. This is actually a genuine experience that we're trying to deliver.
So you can have different takeaway menus on the one night, because sometimes when people do takeaway,
no, we'll do the one takeaway, the one restaurant idea.
Right.
But the important thing is the residents also vote on what restaurant night we're doing. So we have like voting tubes.
Okay, so this is a really nice like description of what you're doing. I absolutely love it. I want to know, when you were going through that change, did you have to change ownership or management? Was there a leadership change?
It was a leadership thing. So our home has been in our family. So we're a single site, we're owner operator. We had an amazing team running the home for many, many years, and they've gone on to brilliant and great things, and we give them all the respect. I literally grew up with them, and they're some of the leaders in the industry that I look up to. And then when they left us to go and focus on their projects, we had a team in place. They didn't quite get how we did things. So when I came on board from the family in 2015, so that was since 1989, it's been in our family. So that was it. So now we've got all of those people in the right place, and it was a big culture thing. I was just explaining, because I just did a session in the keynote. It's about accountability and responsibility versus blame. And we're really proud of the culture that we have at the Close.
And it is a lot about culture, and I love that. That is incredible. I would dig down for ages on everything that you're doing, but we have got to, I did get you in here on the premise of seeing you on the Outstanding Society stand. So I've got to, I've got to let you speak to that as well. So a lot of people will know what the Outstanding Society is, but we were part of it at one point, and I haven't really engaged with it properly for years now. So what is the Outstanding Society, and what does it do?
So back in the day, the Outstanding Society was one thing. I want you to take all of that knowledge, everything you know, rip it up and throw it away and put it. Let's start again. The Outstanding Society is a group of providers who work together that want people to be, or who are invested in being, outstanding.
Okay, so
you don't have to be.
Right.
That's the key thing. You do not have to be outstanding to be involved. And in fact, we have outstanding providers who are involved, and that's great. But we have people who are inadequate, requires improvement, and are on their journey of improvement. And we want to share best practice, ideas, and basically create a network of people that have a shared mentality of actually what we can do in the industry. And let's stop being this pity party that we are. Absolutely, we put our hands up, and there's been a time when we didn't feel as valued as the NHS. And are we going to change that necessarily quickly overnight? No, but we can't live in that. If you perpetuate that, you're only going to hold yourself down. So let's celebrate social care, and that's what our real aspect is. So for example, in April, we had an amazing webinar. So our monthly meetings, you sign up to, they're absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything. So you get the free meetings every month. There's really good content, help, advice. Anyone can join. And so it's really an open all hours network, basically. We've got an app coming out in a little bit. And again, that's free. So they were not trying to generate any cash from this.
That's really interesting, because I remember back in the day, I think it was outstanding people coming together, and I kind of left the conversation when they were saying, well, how do we make more of an impact for people who are aspiring to be outstanding, who are really struggling and genuinely don't know what to do. And that's definitely what is a lot of the struggle in the sector, is just people not being able to talk to each other. So this seems like a really good place to do that, all the stuff. So how would somebody say, now, I know after this conference, I'm like, I need to get back involved with the Outstanding Society. Where do I send my email address to?
So literally www.outstandingsociety.co.uk. I think that's the website. Don't hold me to it.
Google is a good resource.
but you go on and you just sign up. And then when the app's there, if you've got that on your phone, that's even easier because it's really accessible. The idea is we'll have really short, sharp podcasts on there. So you're talking about like 20-minute jobs, not an hour, which are great because they all have a purpose. But this one's like, oh, I'm in the car going, let me just listen to something. The meetings we do generally are about an hour and a half. They're phenomenal. So as I said, in April, we had an amazing one about complaints. Now, I had no idea that there was a local authority and social care ombudsman. And it's like, yes.
Well, can I just say, if you subscribe to Co-Produce Care, we have done an actual live stream with the head of that organisation. So
we did that in April. Okay. And that was what was amazing, because they're there and they're engaged and they're supportive. And the more people know about them, the more people know about the right resources. But out of that conversation, one of our colleagues, Ruth French, and she's from Stowe Healthcare, and she was telling us about how she set up these things called dignity hazard rooms. It's really interesting. So when you do fire training, so first of all, there's a big thing about training, which is one of my passions, which is I don't think the training that we give in the sector is good enough. I also don't think it's fit for purpose. I think it's really boring and really dull, and we're ticking a box saying that yes, everyone's done training on our training matrix. So that's a whole nother but what she does is she creates these dignity hazard rooms where they have an empty bedroom, they place a mannequin in the bed, and then they set the room up with areas of failure for dignity. And it's like, right, this person wears glasses, but the glasses are dirty. That's a dignity hazard. The person has a left-sided weakness, yet their drink is placed on the left side of them. That's a dignity hazard. There's all these really simple things that we don't think about necessarily, but it was such a good idea. Now, we've never done it at the Close ever. But I heard her say it. I'm like, right, stealing that, taking it, and we're going to own it. And we own it in the way that we say we have taken it from this other provider.
Well, I think it's fine to do stuff like that as long as you kind of signpost where you got it from. I mean, it's pointless keeping all of that knowledge to yourself. But this has been fantastic. I know I've got to get on to get other people up here, and I could absolutely just be engaged with you for so long. But maybe we will connect and get you back on a live stream for a longer session. So subscribe, people, if you haven't already. But thank you so much, Sanjay.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I'm going to ask my team to just put a holding slide up, but I'll be back here in about a couple of minutes with another guest. So hold on and sit tight. Okay. Hello, everybody. We are live again, co-produced care at the Health and Care Show. And a little bit of a slide there just to show you where we are and what we're doing. If you've been watching us anyway, you'll know that we are at the Excel Centre, and there are, I think, over 7,000 registrations for today, and a lot of people coming in and out from the sector. A lot of people from health, some people from the care sector. Fantastic array of talks from a lot of the people that you see on the circuit, sometimes on live streams like this, sometimes on TV. And I'm delighted to be with the lovely Daniel Casson. And you're here as part of the digital social care. Is that right?
It's one of the hats I wear. I mean, getting the DSPT out there as well as what we're doing today, making sure everyone's signed up.
Of course. So there's so much to talk about, and we've only got this room for another like 15 minutes. So I think we could talk forever. So I probably just want to start off just introducing people to digital social care for anyone who doesn't know, and then we can just get into whatever we fancy. But also, people, I have got the chat. So if there's anything coming up on the chat, I will be able to just about see it. So yeah, if you've got any questions, this is 100% live. Yeah, great. Okay, so digital social care.
So digital social care is the liaison point between the NHS and the care sector. Providers, we're going digital, we're working more with the integrated care systems. How do we actually put digital into place, working with the influencers in the NHS? So that's what digital social care is. If you go on the website, www.digitalsocialcare.co.uk, there's so much information about going digital, what it means, about data that you're putting in there. And that's why one of the big pushes is the data security and protection toolkit, which all providers should be signing up to. But digital is the way forward. And so how do we participate in that with the local authorities, with the ICSs, with our NHS partners? That's what digital social care is all about. And it's a free resource for you.
Love it. And I feel like there was a lot of talk about digital social care when it was first created a couple of years ago. And now I've kind of gone off the boil about what's going on, but there is so much like resource there. Can you give us a little bit of a flavour of some of the things that would be useful for people?
All the templates that you need, the policies that you need in place, the success stories, so you can actually see what new digital stuff is coming in and how people are using it. There's also newsletters to sign up to. Any questions? We have the digital special interest group. Sign up, work with peers, because what's happened during COVID, really interesting, more and more, is that people are getting their information off other people like them, peers. So we can be that conduit for you to contact other people who are implementing things. Yeah. And we're also the official partner for what was formerly NHSX, now the Transformation Directorate, in representing care providers. So if you're looking at care records, for example, go no further than looking at the digital social care website to actually see what digital care records are out there for you.
Amazing. That's actually really useful. And I think that may be another takeaway that I might have from today is just to sign up to the newsletter and just get that constant information. Do you work much with the CQC? Are they involved with your work, or do they interact with it at all?
It's an inherent part of what we do. CQC's direction of travel is to rely more on digital input. Yeah. Therefore, yes, they're our partner. We work very closely with them on how things develop. So yes, they're definitely good point, Sophie. Very much.
And what are you talking about? You're on the stage, aren't you? I am. A little bit today, tomorrow maybe. What stage are you on?
I'm doing two things. I'm working with the IHSCM, the Institute of Health and Social Care Management. We're doing a debate this afternoon on whether the future is digital solely, or whether there's other ways in innovation that we should be looking at. So that's a debate where I've done these debates before, and it gets people's passions rising about what the direction of social care, because the direction is digital, but so much I'm hearing is maybe that's taking away from the personalized nature of what we do, and we have to mitigate those factors. So that's something we'll explore in a quite confrontational way. So different. Sometimes in social care, we're afraid to confront, and I think it can be very productive at some points. So that's what I want to promote.
I like that. So one of the shows that I was attended that you did a few months ago, you had the debate where you had emotion. Is it that type of thing where you got two people having an emotion for, another two against, and then people have to think, oh, who do I believe?
Well, Sophie, you're really interesting, because I'm thinking, is there room in the social care world? It's exactly that, where we take an issue, we bring people together, we bat out the arguments, and we get people passionate about it. And I'm thinking, is there a market there for the social care great debates on a regular basis? Maybe something co-produced care could be working. I don't know. Get people together on from differing sides, and they meet in the middle. But we need to confront those issues because we're still trying to form new systems. We're coming out of COVID now. So much has happened. But what's not the new normal? No, let's get away from that. But what's the new systems, the new ways of working care that we can work towards? And I want to bring those issues out there. What innovative ways? I mean, we talked at the conference you're talking about. You talked to Emma Back of the Equal Care Co-op. Fantastic new ways of innovating in care. And we've got to try thinking of those new ways for what people want in care.
I absolutely agree with you. And I think sometimes when we have the debate about care, it's quite a low level. So when you have them on, I don't know, national TV, or when you see them in the press, it's from people who don't know anything about social care. So it's a real, I call it like an anemic view of social care. But to have a debate that is much more informed by people who are actually working in it, who are living it, who are supplying solutions, people get to understand what we're doing rather than talking down or talking at care as if it doesn't know what we don't know what we're doing.
And it's also important to bring people with lived experience in place. That's I mean, I know that this is part of your raison d'etre is doing that, bringing people, because that's how design happens. I remember Purple Tuesday that happened a few months ago. It was drummed into us that people who have a disability are often the best people to provide the solutions because they're solving problems every day. And it's that sort of energy that I want to bring into innovation in care. So I do run my own care consultancy, and it's all about innovation in care and bringing new energy. So looking outside our own bubble, it's good to be inside our own bubble to share ideas, but also looking for ideas coming from outside, from the financial world, fintech. There's so many ideas of how we could smooth over some of the digital accessibility issues that fintech has done. We need to adopt from those areas as well.
Okay, so I'm a little bit of a skeptic on the whole lots of digital, lots of different industries, because I feel sometimes you have industries who don't know anything about social care, have never really worked in it. They see it as a sector that's a kind of like a cash cow. So they're like, okay, let's get into it. Let's provide some solutions. But are they genuinely looking for a long-term solution? Or is it just something that they're going to throw some money at, see if it works? And if it doesn't, then they're on to the next. So have you got an example that you can think of that you can talk us through, whether it's in innovation or whether it's an organization who doesn't historically do or involved in care, but has provided a solution that's really worked for an organization or an individual? Bit of a big question, but I know you'll have lots of different things in your mind. So pick one.
Thank you for putting me on the spot there, Sophie. That's great. I'm going to give you an example of one which is trying to get into the market. So I'm working with someone, and when I mentioned financial technology, I'm working with someone who has built up financial technology. And over the past 15 years, we've seen banking become more open, and try and bring some of that technology into direct payments. Because direct payments, everyone thinks should be progressed, but actually the number of people on direct payments has actually decreased over the past 4 years. So how do we get people, how do we put in place platforms for people to access so they can share ideas of how to use direct payments, but also have the payment processes eased and facilitated? So that's something that's in progress. So I'm trying to think of other examples where we have people from hospitality. There's an organization, I think Cubigo, which was when people in care homes, for example, started needing to vet people coming in during COVID. That was something that came over from hospitality really well. So that's one example where it has happened. Okay. And I'm thinking financial technology, easing the path, making it accessible to all, and getting over the digital access issues.
I like that. And I think I like the idea of let's not close the conversation off because we don't know what is possible. Let's just give it a try and see what's possible and see where we go with it, because it could be potentially, life-changing for someone.
But we have to be sure that we're secure, because we don't forget, we are looking, but we're looking at it's people's quality of life that is in the end. So I have a value system. Anything we're trying out in digital transformation should add value to people's lives. So that'd be care, the people being cared for, or the people caring, or the staff teams. It should also provide value for an organization as well, efficiencies, better ways of working. And also the third level, value for an integrated care system. Because in that way, if we look after people in an integrated way, it's going to it's going to improve their quality of life, which is the end goal. It all comes back. So anyone, and I've talked to many people outside care who are coming into it, and I say, you've got to have the right culture of focusing on the quality of life for individuals. So talking to NHS colleagues, I want to get them away from social care helping them to reach NHS targets. It's all about quality of life.
Away from systems and more about quality of life. Love that. Okay, so thank you so much. That was really helpful. I know I kind of pulled you off your stand, put you on the spot. But we have to kind of wrap this session up now. So thank you so much, Daniel Carlson. You can follow him. We'll put all of the details in the description. So I will let you go back to your stand, and I will just let everybody know what we're about to do a bit later. But thank you so much, Daniel.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, Sophie.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
So that's it from us for now. I've got to hand this room over to somebody else in a few minutes. So if I were you, you're not quite sure when we're going to go live again, I would subscribe and I would press the bell, and then you'll get a little notification if you're on YouTube to find out when we're going live again. Do the same on Facebook and on Twitter. If you're just following our Twitter feed, you'll be able to see us go live there. I'm aiming to go live again. I think it's at 1 o'clock, I want to say. But again, I cannot be sure we'll be on the dot. It's probably going to be maybe 1:15 once we get people up to this room to have a little bit of interview, a bit of a talk. I'd really appreciate it, actually, if you are on Twitter, if you could just tweet us or co-produce care hashtag and just let me know if there's anyone particular you want me to bring up into this room to speak to you and to give us some more information about what they do. There's a lot of people here. You can actually go on the Health Plus Care website. I think it's healthcareshow.com, and you can see all the stands, all the speakers, everyone who's here today. And I will take it as a challenge to come and grab them and bring them up here so I can speak to them and ask them your questions, or just so you can hear from them. So that's a challenge for you to give to me, and I'll try my best. But for now, we are going to end the live stream. I'm going to ask my team to just put the holding slide up again, and we'll be back here hopefully within an hour or so. Okay, take care, everyone.